Living in America as a black person, you recognize there is one set of laws for you and one set of laws for those, especially in the white community. In our book, Passive Aggressive Racism in the System of White Supremacy, I take you through times in my life when I first started noticing white supremacy. We teach you how to recognize it, identify it, and also counter it in our book. This book is a beginner's course for those that are just starting to wake up and open their eyes to see the system of white supremacy. As a black American person, you must understand this system because this system is life or death to you. How you handle it, how you deal with it, it can affect your mental health if you don't understand this system. Pick up our book, Passive Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy, today on Amazon. So New York Mayor Eric Adams, he's having the issue that Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot had. Now, the thing that Lori Lightfoot had an issue with is she said that she wasn't liking the way she's being covered by the press in Chicago. And at the time, Lori Lightfoot said that she also noticed that she didn't see many black people out there in the press corps at all. She said, so she got to a point, she said that she didn't really want to do interviews and deal with the Mzungu reporters. And oh Lord, they got upset about that. How dare Lori Lightfoot say something like that? What is wrong with her? They was hot with that. Well, Eric Adams, he's come out recently and he's starting to say the exact same thing. Seems like a pattern here with these black mayors that's pointing this out about the white media. Let's go ahead and roll that clip.
You guys kill me. What part of Albany were you covering? Eric gets beats up in Albany. What meetings were you guys in? I went to Albany, sat down with Andrea and Carl. We've laughed, we talked about old times. We talked about how we're together on keeping our city safe. Andrea gave me a pear and an apple. We walked out and said in front of everyone that we are aligned in keeping our city and our state safe. I went to the conferences. I spoke to the Senate conference. First few speakers spoke to me. Andrea said, hey, stop with the love fest, because Eric got to go, so let's get some questions in. Senator after senator talked about the relationship that we had. There was no arguing, no yelling, no screaming. Areas we disagreed on, we talked about it and we walked through them. We talked about EITC. We talked about violence. We talked about all of these issues in a civil way. I went to the Assembly conference. People raised the issues that they had, and we talked. Black mayor, black speaker, black majority leader, coming together and talking to each other. And if you would have turned on the news this morning, you would have said, it was all hell up there. I'm trying to figure out, do you guys already write the stories before I do something and just live out what you have already written? I'm going to stop doing off topics. Because if you already have your perception of me and you're already going to stick to what you think I am, then why am I doing this? If you want to acknowledge or not, I have been doing a darn good job. And we just can't live in this alternate reality. I was blown away when I picked up the papers today. That did not happen in Albany. And then we found one person, who I don't even know who it is, who said that Eric got beat up. And that became the news. This unknown source. Look. We need you. We need you. People pick up the papers in the morning and they define their reality. If you send the tone that we are in chaos, people are going to believe that. And if we were in chaos, then you report the news. But that should have never happened yesterday. We all have the right to our own opinions. We don't have the right to our own facts. I went to Albany as a mayor, and I represented this city with the issues that are important to this city. And the people heard me. They respected my opinion, and I respected their opinion. This was really unfortunate on what I saw in the papers and in the news today. Really unfortunate. And if this is how this is going to be, then I'm just going to come in, do my announcements, and bounce. I'm not going to, why am I even answering these questions? And it happens over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. And folks, this is frustrating. Bless you. It's really frustrating. You wouldn't want my deputy mayors and team to distort the reporting of how we run in the city. Then we need to stop distorting the news. We need to really stop distorting the news. And I'm going to say this. And I'm not saying it out of hate, I'm saying it out of love. I'm a black man, that's the mayor. But my story has been interpreted by people that don't look like me. We got to be honest about that. How many blacks are in the editorial boards? How many blacks are determining how these stories are being written? How many Asians? How many East Indians? How many South Asians? Everybody talks about my government being diversified. What's the diversification in the newsrooms? So everybody go back with their predispositions, and my role as mayor is being interpreted through the prisms of your realities and not mine. So when you write stories, you're not writing stories for people who was almost homeless like me. You're not writing stories for people who were arrested and beat by police officers. You're not writing stories from those who are dealing with high crime. You're writing from your prisms. And I'm not saying this to attack, but my administration is going to be about saying the obvious that other people are uncomfortable with saying. Discomfort is growth. So I say that to all your owners of your papers, your editorials, diversify your newsroom so I can look out and see people that look like me and say, we're going to write stories based on the prisms that we have, based on the prism of this young man, based on the prism of being the first black woman that's the speaker, or Jumaane Williams, based on the prisms of his realities. It's not what we're getting. That's not what we're getting. And that's why I'm covered the way I'm covered. And I'm not comfortable with it.
Well, what I will say to Eric Adams is, Eric, you be proactive. And what I mean by proactive, start inviting black media outlets and say, no, you need to be here in the press corps. You have a lot of power to do that. You don't just look at them and tell them they need to bring more black people into their business. They don't want to bring black people into their business, man. They don't. They are there to disseminate the news for white supremacy. They're not there to cover you fairly. Mayor Adams, you want someone to do an interview? Okay, invite us to come to City Hall. We'll do an interview with you. We'll talk about the different things that we feel is concerning for the black community in New York, and you can express that, and we will let you say whatever you would like to say, and we won't interrupt you and go on from there, right? Now, I know you're a new mayor, you just got in, you haven't been in there a year yet, so I'm not really on you as much as I probably would if you've been in there at least a year. I say, but you can't just tell these other media outlets to bring in more black people. Now that you start talking about East Indians and all that other, listen, if you talk about people that look like you, East Indians don't look like you, Asians don't look like you, Hispanics don't look like you unless they're Afro-Latino. Okay, that's different, right? But the right way to be is reach out to the black media outlets. And I'm not talking about the old school. I'm talking about even the people like us, all the people that you see that's out here doing it every day. Start inviting people like us to come do interviews with you. Do that. Then I would say, okay, I'm gonna take you serious. Same thing as Lori Lightfoot. If you serious about what you're saying about the media, and start inviting a lot of black people to come to Chicago to do interviews with you, to ask you the questions that's concerning about the black community in Chicago. It's just that simple. Or saying you have to have so many black media outlets in here. I'm not gonna look up and I don't see no black media outlets. You can do that as a mayor. You have that power to make that decision. So let's stop telling them folks that they need to bring in black folks into their situation. Because that's one thing I'm tired of. I am tired of my people always sitting up there telling these folks what they need to do with their businesses. The reason why you don't see us there, Mayor Adams, Mayor Lightfoot, is because they don't want us there. If they really wanted us there, we would be there. Okay? That's how it is all over America. When they own their corporations, they have mostly their people there. They have some black folks sprinkled in, but it's not overwhelming majority, okay? So the right messaging, Mayor Adams, Mayor Lightfoot, is I want to interview with black media outlets, and we need black media outlets in the press corps here. And I better see them. And you can get that if you make the public demand. When you're telling these folks that they need to be bringing in black folks and listen, y'all have to understand and stop telling them people that, because all they're gonna do is bring in Candace Owens. That's your black person right there. They're gonna bring Jesse Lee Peterson in. That's your black person right there. So you can't say black, because that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna bring in Jesse Lee to ask you questions, which I've sat down and interviewed Jesse Lee Peterson, and it's hilarious to me. I have fun with Jesse Lee Peterson. I don't even get mad with him. Shout out to Jesse Lee. Shout out to him. But that's what you're gonna get. So you need to point out media outlets, invite them to come interview with you at City Hall, and really get out what you want to say. That's all. I think that's an easy fix for a mayor of one of the biggest cities in the world, definitely. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the situation here with Mayor Adams and what he's saying. He's not liking his coverage. Well, I can also say, why don't you get a black media outlet to follow you everywhere, to shadow you? And they cover everything you do. That's another idea. See, y'all need to start hiring me. See, I'm giving y'all too many ideas that I should be getting paid for. Now, if you start doing it, I'm gonna call you out. You know what I'm saying? Oh boy, but I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to help you out, brother. That's all. I'm just trying to help you out, because let's say if I was mayor and I had that problem, I'd have a very friendly black media outlet just follow me everywhere. That's all. I said I wouldn't even talk to them people. I'm like, I ain't talking to y'all. I got this media outlet right here. I'm doing all my, when I want to speak to the people, I speak to this camera right here. I'm not talking to y'all, because all y'all gonna do is write something about me that's not even true. So what's the point? I'll let y'all make up whatever y'all want to make up. When I talk to the people, I'll talk to them through this media outlet, or I'll talk to them through my Twitter. And that's it. That's how you handle that.